On this show, we've told you to use AI to polish your resume, but it turns out AI might also be the one ghosting it. Today, we're talking to Jessica Titko. She's the COO of the StaffPad, a Dallas-based recruiting firm. She is watching AI reshape the job market in real time, from bots submitting fake resumes to candidates using AI earpieces to answer interview questions live. That is not okay, people. She'll tell us when AI on your resume helps you and how you might also get ghosted by an algorithm. And she shares the one move that still works better than anything else. We also cover all the important stuff: March Madness, criminal records, and pea soup. Just another week around here. So welcome to Not All Business, a podcast by two former CEOs who went from competitors to friends. I'm Blakely Graham, and my co-host is Heather Cooper, and we're joined by our producer, Clay Cornell. Now let's get down to business.
Not all business.
We're live.
Hey. Hi. We're live. We're
I
live.
have something to show you. You're not going to believe it. Okay.
Let me see it.
Ready?
I love drama. Oh, you
No
got jury
way.
summons. You got a jury summons.
It's like a not all business thing now.
Oh, God, I hope not. Okay.
I know.
When is it?
Yeah. So about
In a
that,
couple weeks? Oh, you're going to try
Yeah.
to get out of it because of the knee surgeries. I don't know. I don't know if a third-party secondary caregiver is a good enough excuse.
I don't know that I'm going to try to get out of it, but it is on a Monday. And as you
should
guys
get out of
know, like those trials can go into our recording date. So we need backup plans. And I was thinking, would it be fun if
you
we
kinda-
asked some of our favorite guests to come and be like guest hosts when one of us is like sick or jury duty, because that's what we do. We do a lot of jury duty on this show.
They would love that.
You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't it be fun? Like, we could get Bailey or Jamie or whomever. All of our guests have been fantastic.
and-
I just think
Yeah, they would eat
They
that
could be
up. Are
guest
you
hosts.
kidding me?
I
They
know.
would
I know.
love that. You're pretty
So-
confident that they wouldn't like kind of take over. You know, that's like how it starts.
I
A
did
guest
think about
host
that.
becomes a regular guest host, becomes
am a
the
little
next
worried.
co-host.
I'm a
You
little
should
scared.
be. If I get
But
jury
it's
duty,
okay.
I'm just not going to go. I hate jury duty.
We're-
Do you think
It made me spit a little bit.
you're going to
That
go and you're going to try to be the fucking foreman? I know it. You're going to get in there.
I got kicked off the jury last time. So
You
did?
What'd you answer? What'd you say that got you out?
I have a record.
Oh, you have a record. Is that from punching that girl, throwing her off the porch?
No.
What's it
No.
from?
It's crime to not be disclosed, but
I don't know.
I
We're
have
a
a
true crime
record.
podcast now.
and so we are true crime. And so yeah, they dismissed me.
What's
I
your
was
record?
called, but
What'd you do?
I
You're not
made a
going to share it.
mistake in my 20s.
We've all made mistakes in our 20s. What was yours?
I got it. I got a
It's okay.
DUAI. AI.
What's the
we're talking about
AI?
AI today. Maybe
We
that's
are.
what
That's a good transition. A DUAI on almost
I
influence.
was driving under
almost
artificial intelligence.
That's what Heather's trying to do with her self-driving car, and we're telling her that's not a thing.
I am. It is a thing. Just wait until it's unsupervised. I'm
Have
going to
I-
take naps in that bitch.
Here, I'll tell you the story because it came up. But
Please.
this is not what I was planning on talking about this morning.
It's
but
a learning. It's a learning.
It's learning. So I want to say I was guilty. Like, let's not belittle it. And I mean, what are all the
You
disclaimers?
want to say it or you are saying it?
No, I was guilty,
Okay,
and no one
just
got
to be
hurt,
clear.
and like all those disclaimers, and I just whatever. Do not drink and drive.
Yes.
But if I had to like paint a different picture, I was 8 blocks away at my friend's house where I went to dinner almost every night. We shared one bottle of wine, me and my
Okay.
2 friends.
Over
So
how many
that's-
hours?
I'm not sure.
That
but
should be
really
the legal limit then.
Well, here was the key. They served pea soup, or maybe it was asparagus soup. It was green and it was so gross. I refused to eat it. I didn't like it at all. And so I had a
split pea
totally empty
soup.
stomach. It was
I
awful.
get it. It's kind of
So I
gross.
got
There
in
you
my
go.
car.
Is there
I
some ham in
drove.
there?
I know, the 8 blocks. I was stopped at a stop sign.
Okay.
And there was a cop doing like a DUI check, but whatever. I didn't do anything wrong. My issue was I had a headlight out. So he pulled me over. I was mid-parallel parking in front of my apartment.
Impressive. Also very hard to do drunk.
AI.
You weren't drunk.
It was like
What
the
does
mini drunk.
AI mean? Yeah, what's the A?
So like the legal limit, I don't even know what it is. Like let's say the legal limit was like 1. The AI is like 0.7075 or something.
Clay, can you just
0.75.
Google it? Like what's
Yeah.
DUAI
I think it was
mean?
like 1 drink versus 3 drinks, if I recall. So I don't know. And it's gone up now. It's gone down now. So
Okay, it's not DWAI.
Okay.
That's state. In our state's DUAI, but yeah.
Okay, so DWAI is driving while ability impaired.
Ability impaired instead of under the influence.
Yes. But let's talk about this. I was parallel parking. I got out and I did all the things a lawyer would tell you not to do. I got out and like I said my ABCs backwards, not a problem.
Did he ask you to, or were you like on the offense? Oh, okay.
No. I did that. He asked me to
say
walk like
ABCs
one leg,
backwards.
Did it
sober as can be. Z.
I'm telling you.
Y.
Yeah.
X.
You're out.
That's it. I mean, that's all I got.
All to say, it was a horrible experience. It was absolutely horrific. But here's the great thing. The great thing is like, I am super pedantic about it now. Like I do not get behind a wheel, nothing. I've talked like my kid, we're super strict and I'm glad because like, you know, you can kind of get sloppy when you're younger. And I think that's changed with this next generation. And I'm really grateful
also
for
they
that.
have Uber. There's no excuse.
No excuse
for drunk driving
ever.
anymore.
Yeah. But it was a great, not so great experience. Very embarrassed, very humiliated. Had to go to jail.
You did not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, I mean, like I got arrested.
The drink tank.
The drunk tank. Yeah.
For
drunk
that-
tank.
Oh, it sounds like a cop was just trying to mess with you a little bit.
So that cop ended up stalking me. He showed up he came to my house
parents
at
should
like
have gotten a
3
lawyer.
a.m.
How old were you?
I didn't tell my parents. I was like 26. I did it all on my own. I paid for the lawyer on my own. I got a lawyer.
Wait a second. I thought this whole time you were a minor and that was what was making sense. You were legal, allowed to drink, and you got pulled over and put in the tank at 26. That's abuse. 26. That's you should have gotten a lawyer. You could have.
I did get a lawyer.
Out of that.
It was $5,000, and this is like back in the day. It was every penny I had. It was everything. I didn't want to tell anyone. And then the cop came to my door at like 3 a.m. the next day, like, "Ma'am, you forgot to sign papers. Open up." I'm like, "Who comes at 3 a.m.?" I was so scared.
That's abusive
so I moved
process.
in with my friend. They got talked to.
But they got talked to. Oh, well, thank God they got talked to.
I don't know. Maybe they got on
nice.
something
that
happened
makes
with
you
that.
feel better.
But the judge was like, that has nothing to do with
I'm
your
mad.
guilt. Right.
This is still on your record, by the way?
I don't know. Could you find that out for me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do
I
a
don't want people
background
to
check.
True
find
crime
it.
podcast.
I've never seen
True
that.
crime. True crime.
Yeah, I'll do a background check on you. No problem.
We're
Actually, I
gonna do
should
a
have done
whole
it before I
series.
even agreed to be your business partner. I don't know what I was
you
thinking.
should have. All to say, this is why I got dismissed from the jury the original time, because I think it was a DUI case or something, and they're like, whoever's been convicted. And I'm like,
They did not see that coming when you raised your hand. Okay,
Out.
so I will do the background check. We'll get it expunged, but only after this jury.
you can get it expunged. Does that mean, Lawyer Heather, does that mean when people ask me if you've ever been convicted, can I say no?
Yep. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I said that so confidently. It just depends on the context. I don't know.
It's slippy.
It wouldn't show up on a record. It wouldn't show up on like a background check.
I mean,
but if you
don't
want to
drink and drive
verbally
and
lie,
don't serve your friends pea soup. That's just
but you don't lie, remember? So you never lie. Remember that?
That's why when he said, "Have you had any wine?" I'm like, "Yes, I did have a glass of wine." Like,
that's the right
idiot.
answer, though. Like you
but it's not. Every
Not
lawyer
anymore.
I've talked to since say you don't
Lie.
take the breathalyzer, you don't get out of the car, you don't do anything until you have to, right? And so I was like, okay.
Read them your rights. Also, just don't drink and drive, which is...
Well, that would be the number one rule. And don't
be honest,
smoke
though,
and drive either. No vaping and driving. Mm-mm.
Did you see that it was going around? It was a reel about these two ladies talking about if your tags are expired, don't smoke weed in your car.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny.
But don't smoke weed in your car.
They make
anyway.
sound. They make a song out of it, just like if your tags are expired. It's so funny.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
So when you go to expunge this record, can you find the mugshot?
No, I've never seen it. I don't ever want to see it. I don't.
You took one though.
No.
Did you fingerprints everything?
Yeah.
He just wanted to hold your hand.
Do you want to know what
That's
the
some
worst
weird
part
there.
about it? They confiscate all your money. And so I had something like $32.82. It's like all I had. And then when you get let go, they won't give you your money back. And so I'm like, well, how am I supposed to call a cab to get home? Like, I don't have, like, that's my money. Like, we were a cash society back in the 90s. It's not like,
Blakely,
I guess I had a credit card.
Was this a real jail? Like, was this a real policeman? I mean, none of this is adding up.
They give you it back in a check, and the check is from Boulder County Jail. And I'm like, no effing way. I am going down to my Wells Fargo account. And you're like, can I deposit this $32?
Okay, they give it back to you in a check, but you did get it back. I'm like, were you in Casa Bonita jail? Did they? Okay, they actually.
Okay, because there's one thing that I wanted to tell you about. I don't know if you've ever seen this. But there's a Instagram account called Mug Shorties. And it's all mugshots of like women who are basically very beautiful, but they get their mugshot after they're all done up. But they did something. And then the caption is just the crime that they committed. And I was like, can we please get Blakely on Mug Shorties? Please.
No, I have children. Come on.
Did you see the compliment there, though? There was a compliment.
I heard the compliment. What he doesn't realize when he sees the picture, I was starved. I had to pee. My makeup was probably running because it was nighttime. I probably looked like shit.
That's a look, though.
And I have my lazy eye, you guys. Think about that.
Oh my God, I've never seen your lazy eye. Those were in your Daryl Hannah days too. I bet you looked gorgeous. Do you remember when we were in Atlanta and that girl had her makeup and this was crazy, Clay. There was a woman, she was a hostess and she had her makeup and it was intentionally like she had just been crying, but it was on purpose. Is this is this a thing?
Look.
Yeah, let's ask the expert.
I mean, I don't know. It was just the strangest thing, but it was like obviously drawn on like she was crying. And at first I was like, are you okay? And then it was like, oh no, that's just her vibe.
Yeah, I don't know.
That
does seem
sad.
It seems sad to you, but was she like okay? Did you talk to her about it?
She was not a good hostess. It was pretty bad. But yeah, otherwise she seemed fine. She was just really behind.
I know who you're talking about. She was not a good hostess. Yeah.
She wasn't. She kept looking at us with hope, like, you're next. But it was like 45 minutes later. I was like, you need to stop giving me those nice, kind eyes. Well, they were sad, kind eyes. Because I kept getting hopeful that she would call us next. And anyway, I digress. The question is her job going to be taken by AI? Right? Like, what do you think? You think we're going to get to a point where the hostess at a restaurant is going to be a robot, or it's all automated? It's halfway automated already because you've got the give me your phone number. We're going to text you that your table's ready.
Right. Yeah. And you had those like fast casual restaurants and fast food restaurants where you have to order at the screen. And I'm like, I just want to talk to a person because I've got all these customizations, right? I think it's going to become a differentiator to have a kind hostess. Or is a man hostess a hostess?
I think they're both
not
hosts
quite right.
It's waiter, it's server. It's server and host.
Server and host. Can we just go on that gender? One more thing, and then we'll go back to the AI. Okay. I was Googling, because we're in the thick of March Madness, which is my favorite, time of year.
Me too.
And
God, we're so alike.
Yes, I know. Well, I didn't know that about you, but yes, we are so alike.
I do, because I'm Michigan State. I'm Tom Izzo. I mean, that's my school. So enough said. Okay, go ahead.
Well, live in a college town, so I'm all see you all the time. But I was like Googling for like the latest bracket update. And so I just wrote, I'm trying to think what I typed in. I wrote like CU or NCAA college bracket or whatever. Zero women's results. I don't follow men's basketball at all. I had to like scroll. Never found it. So I had to go back up to the top of the screen and write NCAA like college bracket WBB. And I'm like, fuck that. That's just another hurdle. Like to have to like throw in there. Like, why don't they give me a choice, AI? Google, you're so damn smart. Why don't you say, hey, I know you. I've got you profiled. You're probably looking for WBB, you know? And so I'm just a little bit, you know, when you start to notice those things, they're everywhere.
I know.
It's not an algorithm. Like it wasn't even AI.
No,
it's like
I'm talking about the LLMs. Well, it's pulling on all of the information from historical ever. And how many years since the WNBA has been like getting more traction and getting followers? It's like within the last 10 years. This isn't like the last.
So you're saying AI is slow?
Yeah. No, I'm saying, oh, no, you can put it. And I did this just the other day. It's part of like my book research to do. I just put in beautiful woman. Just that's it.
Was it
and
like
I just wanted to see what it did
Heather
with
Cooper? It was like that Snow White screen. Like you're the fairest of them all.
It could not have been more opposite of what I look like. Long, luscious, dark hair, huge lips, big, probably your situation on the chest.
Thank you.
In their 20s. Anyway, and I was like, okay, typical. And then I just said, why did you say that? And then it gave me a laundry list of, because society values youth. It's seen time and time again through blah, blah, blah. Like it just gave me all these reasons and I was pissed about it. But it is what it is. It's pulling from all of these years of what's defined as beautiful in the Western society. Then I put it over into Gemini. That was ChatGPT. I put it over into Gemini and said, beautiful woman. It was a Black woman in her late 30s, early 40s in a garden. And just simple, no makeup, beautiful woman. And I said, why? And it said, because our algorithm, if we are not given specific instructions, will prioritize diversity. Because that model's been trained on it because it's actively saying, okay, we need to do more to make these answers more diverse. So unless somebody says put in a white woman with dark hair, if they just say beautiful woman, we are going to actively try to incorporate diversity. So Google, Gemini, is doing the right thing. And they're trying to like proactively train their models. But it takes years to like combat like the other just natural data. And then I put it all in Claude to say fight
Claude's
with each other.
kind of an idiot, just so you know.
But
I use Claude.
Called out Claude's my favorite, to be honest.
I argue with him every day, so I guess he's my favorite too. But
I'm still calling him it's. I can't anthropomorphize it yet.
That word for sure. And of course, it's all men.
Yeah. Sorry, I took us off on an AI tangent.
But hang on a second. Speaking of the men thing, like. What? So Siri is
I did
like
beautiful man too, just so you know. But go ahead.
And did someone
what
like me come up, or was it like
it was older than you? Isn't that a damn it?
That is a damn it. The older man, yes.
Yep. And he had a little gray in his beard, and he was distinguished because attractiveness in men is seen as competent and a leader, and experience.
Okay.
It's a whole soapbox episode of their thing. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to take
no, but like,
what were you going to say?
Siri, Alexa, executive functioning digital
secretary.
Well, because those are like sold to
names.
men, so they have to have sexy voices. But the intelligent AI is Claude, is a man.
Yes,
and you can choose your voice. Mine's a British guy. Yeah. We're talking a lot about AI in front of our guest that we haven't brought on yet, who's the expert.
We should bring her on.
And what we need to talk about. Well, Jessica, welcome to Not All Business.
You know how every industry has that one relationship where both sides need each other, but the communication is just broken. In construction, that's general contractors and subcontractors. The invoices get lost, the budgets blow up, and nobody's on the same page. Well, Trade Agent fixes that. It's the AI layer that sits between GCs and subs and keeps the whole thing from falling apart. Invoices, budgets, payments handled like magic. No more fights, no more finger pointing, and everyone can get back to actual building. Check it out at thetradeagent.com.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy that you're here. We had to bring you on because we got into all of this AI discussion. And we
obviously are all
not experts.
No, I was going to make a DU artificially impaired joke and I couldn't do it. Because I'm artificially impaired.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to put the pressure on Jessica of being like an AI expert through and through, but we're having you on today to discuss the impact of AI on the recruiting world. And so And so Jessica is
timely,
as her intro described, COO of StaffPad, which is a fantastic recruiting firm, and we can have more information on that in the show notes. But I'm just curious what you're seeing, and is it just in the most recent months, or has this been building for the last couple of years? But how are you seeing AI impact the resumes that are coming across, the job requirements that you're being requested of? Like, is it kind of the new table stakes, like being proficient in Word was, 10 years ago?
I think that it is. I think it's gotten progressively more crucial over the last couple months. Been building for a while, but just with ChatGPT now, Gronk talked about Claude, all the different AI platforms, I think it's definitely becoming a necessity for candidates to have. I don't think it's going to completely replace like recruiters and us in the recruiting world, as a lot of people think it's going to, because of the element that comes with recruiting and human to human. But I think for the candidate side, it's definitely important to know how to use AI, how to input it into your workflow every day, how to make things more proficient for you, but not necessarily replace what you're doing.
I'm so curious. You said Microsoft Word, Heather, and I'm laughing because I remember like writing my first resume in like, I don't know, 1988 or 89 or 95 or 6, whatever it was. And you would write them out. You wouldn't say like Microsoft Office. You say proficient in Microsoft Word, Excel, Visio, like whatever all those old things were. And like every single one mattered. And so like, Jessica, people aren't saying like, I'm proficient in Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, right?
Some are. I don't recommend that, but I think,
Thank you.
I wouldn't recommend it, but I think how it's showing up is how people are using AI to make themselves more efficient in what they do. So for recruiting, for example, if you're using AI, what results are you getting from it? How is it impacting your candidate outreach? How is it impacting your interviews, your placements? Marketing, how is it impacting, your conversion rate? Are you generating more outreach? Are you generating better prompts? I think that's where the misconception comes in a little bit.
So how are you guys using it at StaffPad, or are you?
Yeah, we're definitely using it. We use programmatic AI on our job boards. So our jobs are consistently being moved around on different job boards depending on clicks. Even one step further than that, I find this really fascinating. It knows when people are actively looking at certain positions. So the job will come down for certain hours of the day and go back up when it knows, like an attorney, for example, they're probably looking after hours, late hours, because they're busy during the day. Or a doctor, they're more likely to look at something on the weekend. So it's consistently moving those jobs around depending on traffic and who's looking at it and when.
That's so interesting. And so did you have to train it on that, or like how is that unique to you guys, or?
I'd like to say it's unique to us. I might be giving a little bit away our secret sauce there, but it's a platform that we use.
Okay.
So yes and no. And then we use it in every day. I think the recruiters have really done a great job incorporating it and helping, after we have a conversation with the candidate, the notes that we take from that call, using ChatGPT to organize their call notes and, take the resume and the job description and pull from both of those to really create a clean write-up to send to our clients that answers any questions that they might have.
And so when the employee is drafting their resumes that then this AI is kind of going through and reviewing first, are there certain things that employees should be thinking about and putting in, or keywords, or the way they're writing things where an AI would pick it up versus not pick it up?
Yes, I think the really important thing to do is to show real examples. So not just like how we used to say proficient and, Microsoft Office, Excel, which I did as well. It's how did you use AI to produce a certain result? And then, part of the interview process too is going to be actually explaining how you used AI to come to that result. I think a lot of candidates are just using AI to do their resume and aren't really taking a second look at what that means that's on their resume, and they get in the interview and they're not able to actually explain real life examples of how they've implemented it and how it's helped them.
That's such a good tip. So instead of just saying because there's always usually that skills area where you're just kind of listing out, like Blakely was saying, proficient and blah, blah, blah. So instead of that, you would recommend putting it more up in the meat of like their job duties at a certain role, and they would say leveraged AI to blah, 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 like an example?
Exactly. Reduced research time by 40% using AI tools. So something like that.
Or, Heather, one example I saw recently was a sales executive who came in and vibe coded a whole pipeline management tool that then went and based on the pipeline and the results could report back up to the CEO, but B, also take a look at his team and see where they needed help in the pipeline, where things are getting stuck. And he just vibe coded all of that. A sales executive. And you're like, what? I don't even remember sales. It was about to be a mean thing to say. Never mind.
Were you going to say sales executive knowing how to use the computer, or what were you going to say?
I was going to say that.
Wow. Yeah.
But
you're not wrong.
What a differentiator for him or her on their resume, right? That's what I did to come in and bring efficiency, improve sales results, blah, 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 blah. And it's more than just generative AI. That was vibe code programmatic stuff, which I wish I knew how to do.
You could do it. So, but that raises an interesting point though, because how is it different for an employer, I won't say employer, an executive looking for a job versus an individual contributor level? Where would you want to see that AI proficiency? How would those two things look differently, or would they for those different roles?
I think that they would look different. I think an individual contributor really needs to know how to use AI. And I think an executive needs to know when they should and shouldn't use AI. I think an executive has more power in terms of, is it a good business decision to implement it and to when? But the individual contributor is actually the one at the ground level who is figuring out how it's going to make it more efficient or what it's going to do for the company or even their role.
I completely agree with you, Jessica, because what I would also want to see is that an executive is also thinking about, hey, is AI usage in this company, have we thought about trust and how we're instilling trust from these LM models into our customers' hands, and it's translating, and we're making sure we're delivering quality stuff. There's just a lot of fuzziness still in how you verify, right? So I would want to know that executives are trusting and verifying in their jobs, in addition to just efficiencies, right?
They would need to have the policy mindset.
Yes, that's maybe a more concise way to say what I was saying, as Heather always sums me up so well.
Couldn't have said it better.
I just researched on the side on AI. I have it listen to you, and then I say, sum this up, and then I just read it. I'm just kidding.
Long-winded. Here you go.
I'm just kidding. No, it's true though, because so as an executive who's looking, and you know what? There's a lot of executives that are being displaced right now, just from different layoffs and things going down. It's not just hitting individual contributor level, and I know several friends that are at that level looking. So I think. Describe how people could be leveraging the strategic parts of AI. What are you seeing any of that come through in your job job requirements from your clients?
Yes and no. It's interesting because we had something happen last week. I feel like we're seeing more the negative side of it than the positive side of it. And I can share the story because it kind of blew all of us away. So had a client that we were working for. They're hiring for a senior level role, manager role. And they did virtual interview first, and then they do an on-site. Well, during the virtual interview, great interview, but the individual who was interviewing wouldn't look at the screen, kind of kept looking away. It was a little hokey, but the hiring manager's like, I want to move forward. They're from the industry. They know their stuff. Had another virtual interview after that, and then ended up bringing them on site. Long story short, ended up hiring this individual only to find out about a month in that they had used AI to completely get themselves through the entire interview process.
No way.
Everything.
Oh my gosh. Why would you do that?
That was our whole thing. We're like, you're really, really invested. Like, you really want this job. So on one hand, you have to almost applaud it because you're like, wow, the commitment. But on the other, you're like, well, how can we prevent this from happening in the future? Because if it's transcribing while someone's talking and just spitting out the answers, then you can read exactly what it's saying and sound like an expert really on anything. So it blindsided all of us. That was the first. I have never experienced that.
Wow. Did they fire them ultimately, or?
Oh yeah. Well, it was like a conversation of, you give you an opportunity to explain yourself. But if not, just leave your stuff. And the individual did not return. So,
but presumably they're fired because of competence reasons, right? Like if they're relying on AI, I'm assuming they couldn't actually do the job. And that's when I was so shocked. Not that he or she, I don't know, he got through the process. It was more that, why would you do that? Like, why would you make yourself vulnerable? Why would you get hired and then all of a sudden everyone sees who you are? Like, not capable. It's crazy to me. People are so
committed.
Ballsy.
Very committed.
And so it's a good point, though. I mean, even local job interviews, when we're sourcing in Colorado, we still do the first one or two online because we're not forcing people to get in their car and get all dressed up and come down to the office until the third interview. So what would you say are some red flags when you're doing online interviews to see, like, obviously this person is using AI to support in the wrong way?
Not looking at the screen. That's become a massive one. A lot of times people won't even turn their videos on. I think that there's also a pause, like if you hear a really long pause, like you ask the question and they take maybe 30, 45 seconds to respond. Typically, those are really red flags or things we started really paying attention to. In the engineering tech space too, we've ran into multiple times where the candidates aren't even real. They're bots who are making these resumes. They're going through the process and you get to the end only to find out that it's not even a real person. So
what is the motivation?
Don't ask me why anyone would want to do that. Trust me, I still am trying to figure it out because I had the same. It's like,
goodness.
Why?
Do you think that someone created that software to try to sell it? Like if it was a success and they actually did get the interview, they could sell that software to get the correct. They said, hey, 30% of the time, we actually are able to secure an in-person or a virtual interview, and we've proven it through this model. Even if that one didn't get, that one made it further down your process as opposed to just being maybe tossed out right away, which is where most people would say, how do I spend money to get closer to getting a job?
Yeah.
That's very smart, Clay. That probably is.
I only say that because that's my first question too. Like, what's the point? Like, who's trying to spam your inbox with all of these, like,
it's fascinating.
Resumes? Yeah.
And they all look the same. That was another big red flag with I think it's great to use AI for resumes and putting something together, but personalize it. Don't just let it spit out whatever it wants because they all look the same. I mean, even with job descriptions, when clients send over I can always tell which is ChatGPT and what is that they've done themselves. There's just a certain format that I feel like it follows, and it's always very obvious.
Yeah, I feel the same way about like LinkedIn posts. Anytime in a post, it's like 3 short sentences. I'm like, oh, that's AI. Like,
I want to hear some more of the red flags that Heather asked about, and one of them that I know is like the M dash. Like if the M dash is in there, That's one that
That's just
tells me.
Dead giveaway.
Are there any
and
others
emojis.
like that?
Crazy emojis. That's all. I
What?
mean,
I
people. I know, guys. We wouldn't even.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
And I
could
also
write
do a
coffee
lot of
table
M
book.
dashes. I'm pissed. I am pissed they took my M dashes away
They
from
stole
me.
them from you.
Yeah.
But you can tell mine because mine are always like 2 lines. It's never like the long line.
No, it's like the dot dot. Okay, so are you talking about emojis in an email, or are you talking about in a resume?
Both, or even the LinkedIn post. I mean, it never ceases to amaze me. Also, ChatGPT does this thing where it bolds certain words and then not others, and it's like, okay, we can at least you can highlight your whole email or resume and unbold it and just bold what's important. We don't need the random words bolded. So that's a.
I'm just going to feed this transcript to Claude and be like, don't do any of these things in our social media anymore.
Yeah, no, that's good though.
You know, I don't think it's a bad thing to use AI at all, for the record, you know, to build out your resume and do certain things, even drafting certain emails, right? Like if you're super passionate and you're caught on a bad day and you need to respond to an email and you need to take the emotion out of it and put it through ChatGPT or whatever and say, make this what I need it to be, all the power to you. But I think it's just, again, it goes back to, you know, personalization and some of the dead giveaways that can be avoided.
What do you think about thank you notes?
I personally love them, but I'm old school.
No, me too. When
a candidate interviews and they ask for the hiring manager's, you know, email, contact info, and they want to reach out, I absolutely love it.
I think so too, because that's anything that you can do to make it more personalized in the wave of this, because most employers are assuming now that there's not as much effort going into these other pieces as there used to be because of AI. And it's smart to be able to leverage it, but whatever you can do to stand out from other people who aren't taking that an extra step to make it personal is going to give you an edge, I would think.
Absolutely. I would agree with that.
Are you seeing a big shift in job roles? Like as you're looking at resumes of your candidates, are you going like, oh, like it's going to be hard to place that person? Or recruit, or even the companies you're working with, are they no longer hiring X, Y, and Z?
It depends on the role. I mean, I know that that's a broad answer to your question, but I really do think it depends. I think one of the perks that we're seeing of AI on our side is that we're getting an abundance of candidates, and we actually get a lot more qualified candidates. So to answer your question, I think it's actually becoming easier in a sense to fill certain roles because AI can target those keywords, those specific profiles. I met with LinkedIn this week, and they're rolling out this whole new AI platform where you can search Boolean words. It'll be really specific on profiles, and they actually have an AI built into their platform now that will screen candidates out for you. So you can put in 3 to 4 pre-screening questions that'll say, this is on site, this is the salary range, you know, whatever it may be, and it's going to filter out those candidates for you. So I think it's actually benefiting us in a sense where we're getting, you know, more specific candidates in terms of the qualifications and what they're looking for. But you could argue as well, I push back a little bit on it because I still like the human touch of recruiting. You know, I can see a resume, get them on the phone and find out 10 to 15 different things about them that I couldn't see on their resume that I love, and I can relay that to my client. So
yeah, there's really no replacing that piece of it, at least as a major part in the process. You can't skip over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's intangible things that you talk to, you know, when you talk to an individual that you pick up on. Culture is a massive thing. And, you know, working with you, I know that. And I can tell within 2 minutes of talking to somebody most of the time if they're going to be a good culture fit for my client or not. So, and you can't tell that from a resume.
What would you say people should be doing now to upskill themselves in AI to help them navigate these interviews and these questions? Are there practical tips that you would say, okay, you don't have a job yet, you're going to be in this next process for the next 3 to 6 months. What can they be doing on a daily basis to make themselves more competitive in the job market?
I think familiarizing themselves with AI, I think a lot of people are still very intimidated by it, and not being afraid of it. I'll be honest, like I was very late to the ChatGPT game because I'm just stubborn. I was like, I don't want to use this. And then once I did, it changed, my entire day and how much more I was able to accomplish. But I think not being afraid of AI is massive. I think educating yourself around, what AI is doing and what it can do. I think in terms of the job, like to be really specific to candidates who are searching in the job space, use it to research the companies that you're going after, the industries you want, practice interview questions with AI.
How would you do that? How would you, if I'm brand new, never even used ChatGPT a single time, what practical steps would I do to like get myself in a position where this ChatGPT thing is job interviewing me for a job?
I would put in the job description to ChatGPT that you're interviewing for and say, if I was a recruiter interviewing me for this role, what kind of questions do you think the recruiter would ask? Okay. And most of the time it's pretty accurate.
Okay.
I don't do that for the record, but that would be my advice.
Yeah. So they go on, created an account in ChatGPT. You can upload a document. Should they upload their resume?
They should upload their resume, upload the job description. And then if you were a hiring manager or recruiter interviewing for this position, what kind of questions would you ask me? I would also encourage the candidate to ask what questions they would ask the hiring manager in this role. Because a lot of times the job description doesn't have everything that they might be looking for. And Heather, I'm sure you can speak to, in interviews, one thing I love about candidates was when they ask me questions, when they've done their homework, when they've done preparation, and they actually know what job they applied for versus just telling me they've applied for 30 jobs.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Like even upload your resume, upload the job description, potentially upload the link to the cut and paste the link to the company. So there's like absolutely the kind of that background, and then get questions specific to that company. What about going as far as like the hiring manager's profile on LinkedIn?
Oh my gosh.
Like, is
that
their
creepy? Social media? You're going to like troll, like how many kids do they have?
I don't know.
The color green.
So it's funny you say that.
What's the creepy line versus prepared line with AI?
Gosh.
Well, it's funny you say that because I go to the creepy line. Like even when I send interview confirmations to my candidates, like I'm sharing LinkedIn profiles so they're actually going and researching the hiring managers beforehand. Even if it's like a similarity of like you guys went to the same school and you get on and the hiring manager knows you did that background. Like it goes a long way.
That's not creepy. LinkedIn to me is like fair game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be on their Facebook and being like, so your son plays basketball. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. That might be a little much.
That would be so creepy.
Yeah, I don't recommend that.
We had an intern at Cloud Coach years ago. Oh my goodness. He was on the team of one of our sales managers. And one day he came and posted on the team Slack a photo of his sales manager in high school on the basketball team. And it was like, ha, 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 isn't this funny? So-and-so in high school playing basketball. It was so creepy, and it made the whole company immediately so uncomfortable. Because he like stalked his managers and found a picture of him in high school and posted it on the team chat.
Yeah.
That's just a young person trying to take some initiative.
He was trying to be funny, but it was like his second day on the job. I don't know. It came off super creepy.
Second day would be, you got to know your audience. I kind of think it might be something I would do, but know your audience.
Your second day.
Not on my second day.
That's something you should run by ChatGPT. Like, hey, so is this creepy if like I post this picture? Could you role play the company? Like everyone at my company, here's all their profiles that I already looked up. Do you think they would think this is funny?
God, you really could go down a rabbit hole with this stuff, though, couldn't you?
I'm very curious, like, because I was last year trying to find a job. I was creating my resume. I was personalizing it for each person, and I got nothing. So I basically struck out. I didn't think of how would I. What questions should I be asked or things like that. I didn't think of those prompts. So how do you generate those kind of prompts in your own mind so that you can actually use AI well instead of doing it where a bunch of emojis pop up and you're like, maybe that's what they like now. Or, how do you think
No
of those?
emojis, no emojis. That's a good question. I think it just goes back to tailoring it to your resume and the job that you're looking for. I mean, I hear also all the time, I hate to hear it, but that people have struck out multiple times. The other caveat to this whole conversation is AI is great for so many things, but I also think that it is putting a lot of candidates on the sidelines who would be a great fit for certain roles because companies are using it to filter out good resumes and bad resumes. Like, for example, client we work with, hiring manager wanted to move forward with a candidate. We put in their applicant tracking system. Well, the AI rejected it because he didn't check 5 out of the 5 boxes, but he checked 3 out of the 5. So again, I think that's, we talk about AI replacing certain roles and things like that. Recruiting in particular, I mean, there are things that are intangible that I pick up on a phone conversation that AI is not going to pick up on the resume. So, to answer your question, I think it just needs to be tailored to you. And ChatGPT, as creepy as it is, it learns you. The way mine talks to me, it knows how I am. It's really creepy, actually.
It is really creepy, but I appreciate that question because you can't put a whole person on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. You just can't. No. And so I am really grateful, Jessica, that recruiting is still happening with real humans. So you can act as another set of eyes on these candidates.
So we've got 2 sides of the coin here. So we've got the person looking, we've got the employer side. They've hired you to source these candidates. Then we've got the candidates submitting their things, and you guys are kind of sitting in between those 2 things. So kind of having expertise both on the candidates that are coming in and also the employers and what they're looking for. So be curious about your take. What can the employers do in their AI process to avoid these pitfalls? And how can they be tweaking, like you said, making sure they're still looking at people who are only checking 3 or 5 boxes? What can they set up? And then also after that, what can the employees be doing? And what should they be doing to kind of AI-proof their resume to make sure that it's not getting skipped over by the engines?
It's a good question. I think on the employer side, having AI broaden its expectations a little bit. Like I said, not being so rigid. And if a candidate, has graduated college, has had a job for the last 5 years, let's talk to them. Or if they've had a lot of different jobs, instead of just immediately rejecting it, figure out why. Maybe even send an automation email to candidates, hey, notice you have a lot of, job history. I've had 5 jobs in the last 7 years. Walk me through why. Instead of just rejecting that candidate, assuming that they're a job hopper, especially since COVID. I mean, things have been so volatile since then. And I talk to, candidates all the time who have been laid off or had couldn't go back into office, but companies were demanding it. You just never know. So that would be my recommendation on the employer side. I think on the candidate side, I think it's just keeping it more personal. It's kind of what we keep talking about, right? Like, I tell people, if there's a position you really want and maybe the company doesn't use a recruiting agency, directly message the hiring manager. Like, research the job, put it into ChatGPT, and tailor your message to the hiring manager as to why you think you'd be a good fit for this role, and just ask for 10 minutes of their time. I think people would be surprised of how many people would actually be willing just to take a 10-minute phone call to hear them out and see if it would be a good fit. Because at the end of the day, culture is everything. And I think we all know that. And an individual can usually, within 10 minutes, kind of feel if they're going to be a good fit for the company or not.
Yeah. Those cover letters, in my opinion, are everything. Like those emails to hiring manager. I really enjoy them. And like your personality comes out, the why comes out. And you're right. You can tell if it's AI generated or not pretty easily, unless you are a really good prompt giver, in which case maybe I'd hire you anyway. Because I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. I mean, that could be part of your job,
AI,
right?
Buddy.
You can create prompts. That could be a good thing to put on a resume too. You know how to generate good prompts for AI that have produced this, So.
Is there anything that you've received in the last month or two from a candidate that stood out to you that you remember? Like, hey, they did a good job about this.
A thank you note. I mean, they stand out. It's probably 1 out of 10 where I get those. So when I do, it goes a long way. And I know it goes a long way with employers too. It's a nice touch.
Yeah. And is it just an email or is it an actual handwritten physical note? Does it matter?
I've gotten both. The handwritten ones are always really nice, but I would never expect anybody an email will suffice.
Great. So. Hey, Blakely, remember when I said that I wouldn't hire anybody that didn't do a thank you note and you thought I was crazy?
No, I did my whole company kickoff talking about thank you notes one year. I love a good thank you note. I just thought you were a little extreme.
Too strict on that? Not anymore. Not in this age of AI. Not when it could be like a robot on the side and they're just looking off to the side and I don't even know. They can't fake a hand, which actually that will make even the handwritten ones that much more powerful because
that's true.
It wasn't auto-generated. So Jess, how does someone get in touch with a recruiter? And are you just taking their calls or what do they need to submit to you? And how does that work?
I personally take calls. A lot of it will be referrals, from others, but I, find them on LinkedIn. Robert Half, that's a great company to, get in front of recruiters with, Google recruiting agencies or ChatGPT recruiting agencies in your vicinity or whatever industry you specialize in. But I would recommend that. And you can reach out to them personally on LinkedIn and build that relationship. And that way, when they know you and they know you well and what you're looking for, they can come to you as other jobs become available. Because a lot of times that's what I do. I'll find passive candidates who aren't necessarily even looking. I'll remember them, a conversation we have and say, hey, this job became available. Would you be interested?
Poaching. Yeah, that's the good stuff.
She's a recruiter. That's how she makes her money.
There's no cost to people for reaching out to a recruiter because it's the employer that pays that fee. So there's no hurdle there. Okay, I hope I don't get fired anytime soon because the job market seems
while
tough.
You're doing this wrap up, look at the screen. You can't look away. You have to prove you're not using ChatGPT to do this summation.
But I'm not. But I do write stuff down. But,
okay.
But
you're good.
But I will look right in the camera.
That's a little not creepy eyes.
So it's been a lovely time having you here.
I regret this. I regret saying anything.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay. I forget even what I was going to say. Oh, I was saying I hope I don't lose my job. And I feel bad for people who are going through this right now. It is very scary. But also, I really think the tips that you gave, avoiding those red flags, avoiding those pitfalls, using AI in the right way, not to your detriment, but to your benefit, and being creative, and don't be afraid of it. Lean into it. It can help you. You're going to be behind if you kind of stick your head in the sand and don't engage it. So if you're new to AI, start getting creative about ways to use it, not just like another search engine. It's so much more than that. Treat it like an assistant. And if you want them to go off and research this company or research potential job openings that they can find listed on the internet for things that might, strike your fancy. Just be creative with it and see what you can get out of it. Lean into it and then put it on your resume in a very personal, tangible way of how you've used it. That's going to make a big difference. So, Jessica, thank you so much. It's so fun to have a live, badass C-suite recruiter here to you are seeing these things live every day, hundreds of resumes coming through your company. And so we really appreciate your expertise because you're on the front lines of this, and we really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah. And before we let you go, we want to ask you a question we ask all of our guests, and we do answer it ourselves, which is, what brought a smile to your face this week?
Oh, another great question.
You can think about it if you want, Blakely or Clay. If you want to go first. Yes,
you can think about it.
Blakely, Clay, any smiles?
My smile is a very good friend of mine and neighbor came down with a pan of my favorite dessert, knowing that our household's going through a rough time with all the knee surgeries. And it's
What's your favorite dessert?
It's Rice Krispie treats with one extra cup of marshmallows, which is a recipe she taught me. It makes them so much better, just like the Noodles and Company ones, and they're so good.
Yes. Put a little vanilla in there too, if you ever try that.
I'd be open to that.
Just a little quarter teaspoon of vanilla with an extra marshmallow.
Oh.
Yeah.
A little extra marshmallow.
Yeah.
I'm a good baker. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so nice. What a nice
so
friend.
nice. I know. She's super sweet. And it's so like personable. Like we were just talking all this stuff about AI and like this was just like a nice human thing to do. Stop, make someone's favorite dessert, walk it down the street. I just want to remind people of like the simple things, you know?
Yeah. How long did it last,
good.
the pan? Was it gone? Or?
That was a day. Less than a day. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
for
no,
sure.
in my house, no way.
Clay?
Mine's
Jess?
really simple. I
Okay.
was my son and I were FaceTiming my niece. She's 2, and we apparently said something really funny, and she cracked up, and she couldn't stop laughing, and so we just kept repeating it over and over. We were just saying alien, the word alien. Apparently, the word alien is hilarious.
Was it Piper? Which one?
It was Lila.
Lila.
Yeah,
Oh.
and so we're just laughing. So we're just like cracking. And Emerson and I all of a sudden are like a comedy duo, and we're just like riffing off each other. And Lila is on the other end, just laughing like crazy. But
Oh my God. So you do have a future in stand-up. Look at that.
I've thought about doing it, and it's like one of those things where like I'd love to go take a class and try, but it's so scary. It's like.
Oh, it's probably the most vulnerable thing on the planet. But if you got into the toddlers where you're like, hey, I'm going to drop in on daycare and I'm going to do a quick tight 5, right?
Let's just say he only had one word. It was just one
That
word.
does sound a little
Like,
creepy.
Does it sound creepy? It's like, yeah, I was thinking about doing stand-up, but what if I only talk to kids?
You're like, this kid laughed so hard he pooped his pants right in front of everybody. I don't know. I think there's something there. I don't think we toss it out. I don't think we toss it out like a bad AI resume just yet. Let's go one layer deep.
I made one kid laugh.
Okay.
So.
All right. Jessica, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think this would be it, guys. This has been awesome. My day is very monotonous sometimes. I'm on back-to-back meetings and actually just interacting different. This has been amazing. So thank you for having me.
Oh, all right. You
makes
win.
me happy.
Best answer ever. I love that.
Heather.
My smile of the week is my son, Jake. He is a competitive snowboarder and he has just gotten back into it like really seriously. And he's had the worst couple weeks. Like it is long story. I mean, just like car trouble, and then like his plane got diverted because these competitions are in different places, and California, and then Park City, and so it was just awesome to watch him. He's competing at such, the 60, 80-foot jumps. I've talked about that a little bit before, but almost every competition, somebody's getting dragged down on one of those sleds. Sorry, Blakely, like Eldon just did at Eldora. To bring that up.
it was only 12 feet.
Yeah, but it's a very, very, very dangerous thing to do.
Yeah.
And so his scores always come up on live heats, and his car wouldn't start the morning of the competition, and he was staying at his friend's house, and I was just like, oh God, like what else could possibly happen? He had to Uber, like it was this whole thing, but he got there. I'm refreshing on his live heat score. The first one, decent score, but I could tell conditions were bad. All the scores were coming in the 20s and 30s out of 100. There's a couple kids with 70 or 80, but that means like bad conditions. Turns out it was really high wind, which is very dangerous for these kids coming off these big jumps, freestyle. And so his first one comes up, not too terrible, but I was like, he didn't fall. It wasn't a bad enough score that he fell, but I knew he didn't land at what he wanted. And then you go round 2 because they get 2 runs. The next score is just spinning because they update and it's just circling. It's like timing out, but you just have to wait and wait and wait. And if they land and get hurt, it says DNF, which means did not finish. And this was happening for some other kids. And so it's like, I know he's had a tough morning. I know it's all this. And it's like, I'm on this other call, but I'm side-eyeing this thing. And I'm realizing like, I still am treated like I still have like he's a toddler like in my heart, you know? It's just like I'm like just please don't say DNF. Please don't say DNF. And then it popped up and it was like got him top 10. He scored, he landed it. It was awesome. But it was just like the joy of like this moment of just like I'm in like pure terror, trying not to think the worst, but then also is he going to die or is he going to like get 10th place? Like you know, it was just it was so intense. But when I saw it pop in, I was just like so overjoyed. Then he called immediately and he's like, I landed it and da-da-da. And it was so awesome. It was a huge smile and breath of relief all at the same time. So
parenting is no joke.
And also it never ends. Like he's 22. Never. So yeah, it's just like, buckle up, Clay. It's it just never ends. It just changes.
He posted a wipeout on his page.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he's flipping upside down, like twisting,
and
like
turning.
Going crazy.
Yeah,
and then,
cab 10.
And then, so it was a cab 10?
Yeah.
So then he doesn't stick the landing. And the caption is, I'm feeling this today.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely. Because you're just seeing crazy stuff on the internet all the time. Yeah. And then when someone's like, this actually hurt me, that's my body you're watching smash into the ground. I was like, oh, yeah, this is actually like crazy dangerous.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're that person's mom.
Imagine.
Thanks everybody for sharing your smiles. Jessica, before you go, last thing. Where can people follow you? Where can people stay up to date with you? Where can people keep in contact, connect with you?
Find jobs.
What was that?
She said, or find jobs. Yeah, maybe she doesn't want to give this information.
Yeah.
She's going to get just flooded with resumes.
I would say LinkedIn is probably the best place. Connect with me there. And then you can always visit the StaffPad website. It's www.thestaffpad.com. All of our job openings stay up to date on that as well. So if you see anything. And I guess one little piece of advice I'd give before we go, as I was thinking about it, you know, if you're having trouble, find a really good recruiter. I think sometimes not going direct to a company, finding a recruiter you can rely on and they can actually pitch you to companies can make a big difference too.
Amazing. Good advice.
Nice. Great. Well, we'll put your contact info and your links in the show notes. Everybody can go check that out and connect with Jessica. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Thanks for having me.
See you next time.
Thank you, Jessica.